Hi, my name is Ben Pollard and I'm a site interpreter here at the Lewis and Clark State Historic Site. I've already done a few videos now about building the team here at Camp River du Bois, all the skills and specialties that made up the Corps of Discovery that made them such a successful unit. We've looked at the blacksmiths already, John Shields, Willard, and some of the others that are helping along. I want to talk today about Patrick Gass, the carpenter of the expedition. Now, Patrick Gass was a house joiner, and he was also a member of the Army at Fort Kaskaskia. Now, carpentry is a pretty specialized skill to have, and Lewis and Clark know they're going to be gone for a very long time. On wooden boats, they're going to be building wooden winter encampments along the way. So having a guy that specializes in building log cabins and has the carpentry abilities is going to be critical to having a good, successful, smooth transition as they're journeying up the river. Patrick Gass will end up being their man. He's a private there in camp at Fort Kaskaskia, a little further south on the Mississippi River. And it's at that fort that Captain Bissell finds out that Gass wants to come on this journey, and he refuses to let him go. Gass actually goes around his captain and goes to Captain Lewis directly and says, I really want to go on this expedition. Here's the skills that I can bring and offer for you on this journey. And so Captain Lewis then gets his letter from the Secretary of War Dearborn and shows it to Bissell, showing that he could recruit any volunteers from any unit to come on this expedition. So I'm sure that Captain Bissell was pretty furious about that, but Gass will get to come along on the journey, and it's a great thing that he did. He's the one that's going to be overseeing each of the winter encampments. So when they get here in December of 1803, he's going to be the one overseeing the first 18 men or so, throwing up Camp River du Bois from nothing. He's going to do it again at Fort Mandan the following winter, and again at Fort Clatsop. There's many times that these large boats are going to hit snag trees, sandbars, other things along the banks, different rocks. There's a lot of damage that's going to happen to these. They're going to have their masts snap multiple times on their boats. The guy that's going to be overseeing the repairs or the placements of those items is going to be Patrick Gass. Patrick Gass is also an interesting character because he will become a sergeant on this journey. He was not a sergeant when they started, but when one of the other sergeants, Charles Floyd, passes away, it is Patrick Gass who will be voted to be the new sergeant. What that tells us is that he had not only the ability to win the affection of the soldiers, but he also had the ability to read and write. He said that he learned to read and write later on in life, but that it was good enough for him to keep his notes from the expedition. So he did publish his journal before anyone else upon their return. Lewis and Clark were a little bit upset about that, and they claimed that some elements were not as truthful. It's hard to say exactly how much of that narrative is completely 100% accurate, according to Patrick Gass, but he was the first one to get the Lewis and Clark story out to the public. He's a really interesting guy, and it's his carpentry skills that really made him such a valuable member of the Corps of Discovery. I want to thank you for watching today. Please check in for other videos and check out our Facebook page.